Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. I'm Big B. We got the Ocxidean Marine Dominator on the block. This is a carbon fiber 34-inch mono hull. Okay, it's actually has a flood chamber. It's a self-righting version. So today we're actually going to be replacing a couple of things on my boat. I've got a sleeve bearing that we need to replace in the stinger, a couple battery straps that we're going to try in the boat. I'm actually going to kind of talk about props. I have some new batteries that I need to test with this boat right here. We're going to be trying for some speed, I hope, if weather permitting, and I need to check my tune and also just make sure the boat's ready for the water. Okay, so I'm going to do some bench testing. Stick around. Big B with Ironclad RC. Alright, so I really don't know where to start. I got quite a few little micro topics and things I need to do to the boat that I want to cover in this video. Well, I guess let's start with let's start with myself. So I'm Big B, okay, and my channel, if you guys are new to the channel, I focus on fast electric RC boats. We build boats from scratch. We upgrade ready to run boats. We run boats. We do speed runs, you know, depending on the boat, which boat I'm running. We actually tune boats for ovals. I have several, well, actually over 40 different boats, so there's no telling what you guys will see on the channel. I like to talk about props. I like testing props. I like testing batteries, you know. I like trying different things, you know, with my boats. That's the beauty of the hobby. I mean, well, I guess I hadn't really tried anything new here lately, but I got a few things in mind that we may try here in the near future. That's the beauty, you know, you get an idea, and the hobby, it's actually cheap enough. You can build basically whatever your mind thinks up. I mean, within reason. I mean, I've thought about building 50-inch, 60-inch boats. I would love to build a big boat, but, you know, fun is limiting. So, you know, I have some pretty nice boats is what I'm trying to say, and I try to cover basically all the bases within the hobby. So if you have a topic that you would like for me to cover, because it's actually pretty hard for me to think about or come up with new video ideas, if you have a topic you'd like me to cover, comment in the description. I would be glad, or I'll try, I guess I should say, I'll try to hit that topic. Okay, so I guess let's start with the freaking battery straps. So let me take this out. So we actually have some new straps that we're going to put in here. So let's go ahead and pull this one out because it's no good, and let's get this one here out. And I got a few options from Offshore Electrics here. I've got a 300 millimeter strap and a 400 millimeter strap. Okay. So I run this boat on 6 and 8S. All right. So I use one strap for my boat with 6S. With 6S, it's actually kind of a loose fit, and I don't get much Velcro. Yeah, this strap's a little bit long for 6S. So what I do in my boat is I actually have foam in my book bag. I actually have foam cut specific for each boat and the packs that I'm using, so I'll actually put foam in here to make up the difference of the 6S pack and my 8S pack, so I can only have to run one set of straps, you know. So that's a tip for you guys new to the channel. My regular viewers, you guys know that. So these are the smallest 4S packs I have. These are those new HCL-HVs. They're actually the same exact thickness as a 3S pack. So the 4S pack is the same thickness as a 3S. It's just a little bit longer. Okay, so let's see if these Pro Boat straps work on here. Okay, so it will work. Let's check it with my other 4S pack. So these 6500s right here, they've been my go-to for runtime and speed. And I actually talked to Danny at SMC Racing, And he's actually discontinuing the HCL-HP series. He's replacing it basically with a new series. So if you guys like these HCL-HPs, you better go ahead and get them, because they're not going to be around for much longer. Okay. Yeah, so they're not going to work with my 6500s, the Pro boat strap. Okay. So this is the 400 millimeter OSE strap. Let's see how this looks around these packs. Yeah, this is just stuff you got to do, man. It's maintenance on the boat. I figured I'd bring you guys along with the ride. I guess, like I said, it's going to be a long video. So those work with this. The 400 millimeter worked with 2 4S packs. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it's going to be a little bit loose fitting on here. Okay, so that's going to work. That's actually going to work perfect. 400 millimeter in. I was really hoping that these 300 millimeters would work, and they would work with these slim packs, but they're not going to be long enough for my my 6500s or my SRDs. So yeah, that's just it might work. Let's run the 400 millimeter ones. Okay, so I've actually gotten questions from my viewers. How do you get your strap in your battery tray? And at first I kind of giggled. I was like, what? You know, but you know, if you don't know, you don't know. And he was working in a catamaran in a battery tray that was in the sponson, so he couldn't get in there. So I actually made these tools for working with straps. This is my favorite. You can actually grab the lock, well, the hasp or whatever, and work it in your boat. So this is a lifesaver. I have one at home, and I have one in my boat box that I take out with me. But this is just a pick tool, a piece of wire, but you basically slide your strap in. A lot of times if you slide it in there, you can actually bend it, form it so it kind of goes where you want it to go. So you slide it in there and use your pick tool, and you push it with your pick tool. You see me? You see what I'm saying? So that's an easy way to get straps in and out of your boat. Okay, so go ahead and put this one in. Make sure you put it in the right way so you don't have to do it twice. Yeah, I'm running an XLX2 HYDRA in this boat, and a TPPOWER 4060 2050 kV, I think. It's a CM motor. This is a straightaway boat. That's what I got it built for. So we got our straps in. So yeah, I actually ordered these 4S twins and these 3S twins for the Dominator here for speed running. You know, we could take advantage of that HV high voltage with the 3S, and we can kind of we don't have to fully charge it, but we can overcharge the maybe 425 or something, and maybe get a little more speed from our setup with these HV packs. Don't want to really go to 4.35, but we can slightly overcharge them with the XLX2, you know. Okay, so let's see what it looks like here. This is not the foams I like running in here. I got a red set. I don't know where they are at the moment. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. Almost too long for these batteries, so I just pull them tight right there. Yeah, they're almost too long. And then I use this. I mainly use this third strap right here, and it's kind of wore out. I need to get another one. I mainly use this strap to keep the Velcro on my straps Velcro down. It really don't help keeping the batteries where they're at. It does help keeping the Velcro on the straps, you know. So I actually want to test center of gravity real quick. And we have the 4S twins in here. Now, those 4S twins are actually, they're long batteries. So when you buy batteries, measure your batteries. But you got to take in consideration on an RC boat. RC boats typically like a certain center of gravity on any particular hole. Like monos, like one third from the transom, right? Give or take. 1/3 it in the final center of gravity. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It's a starting point. So 1/3 of this 34-inch boat's basically 10 inches. So 10 inches, it falls right here on the antenna. That's a 10-inch mark. These batteries are a little longer than my 6500s, and I got them slid all the way back as far as I can get them, and my center of gravity is just forward of that 1/3 mark. I'm running this boat for speed, so it's actually somewhat perfect. That's in between my antenna and this forward water exit right here is where I like my center of gravity be on this boat, just forward of 1/3. So any heavier or any longer with these packs, I wouldn't have been able to run them in this position. I would have had to actually think about putting them on the flood chamber wall to get my center of gravity back. But like I said, I like my center of gravity a little forward to help keep the boat from blowing off. So yeah, think about the length of your pack. With a shorter pack, fatter pack, I could get my center of gravity a little bit farther back. Okay, so hopefully the center of gravity works out. We'll see. 15 minutes. The video's already 15 minutes long. I'm not even believing it. Jeez, I was trying to make a video where I didn't have to edit. I get the jack of my jaws, and yeah, so hopefully I could edit some of that down. 15 minutes just replacing a battery strap. What the hell's wrong with me? Alright, so sleeve bearings. These are replaceable. It's a high wear part, you know. Octura makes them, and it's 3/16 inside diameter, 1/4 inch outside diameter. It's a lead Teflon bushing, basically. Okay, see how it's got that slit cut in it, so it'll slide in your strut, and it's like nice and tight fitting. I've already replaced mine, and I really wish I would have showed you guys how much play I had in my flex cable. All right, this is a brand new sleeve bearing in here. It was quite a bit, and if you're running like an out of balance propeller, it'll wear your sleeve bearing out. If you're running a high RPM setup, high RPM motor, it'll wear your bearing out. Okay, if you run larger props or you just run your boat a lot, it'll wear your bearing out. Okay, so it's actually a good part to have in your parts bin. 1/4 inch outside diameter. So the inside diameter of your stinger or strut needs to be 1/4 inch to use this bearing. Okay, so basically you take your stinger or strut off. I just took the barrel off of mine. I heated it up with a torch. I'm gonna show you. Actually, I'll show you while I'm talking about it. So I took it out. I put my strut or stinger in my vise. I heated it up with a torch. You can use steel, or I had an aluminum rod that I basically hammered my bushings out with. Okay, I actually took my stinger barrel. Once I got the bushing bearings out, I took it into the kitchen with some Dawn I scrubbed the inside of it. I used some brake cleaner in my barrel to get any residual grease out. Then I basically used red Loctite, and I Loctited my bearings into place. Note where the bearing, like, stick your rod in your barrel and note where the bushing, or the bearing sitting in your barrel, so when you replace it, you put your bushing bearing exactly where it was. Okay, so that's good to go. We're going to bench test it in a minute. Okay, before each run, like, if I especially if I'm trying for speed, I actually take literally, I'm talking like an hour, 45 minutes. I check my tune. I double check my tune. I make sure my strut is where I want it. My stinger, make sure I have the right exact tune when I'm trying for 80 plus. Like, and I actually, like, go back and forth, man. Like, mentally I go back and forth. I'm like, golly, should I run that much down? If I run that much down, it's gonna put more drag. It's gonna heat things up. I'm not gonna get the number I'm looking for. And then I'll go up with my trim tab. I'll like, oh, maybe that's too much up. It's gonna blow off the freaking water. And then I move my CG forward, and then I'm like, oh, that's too far forward. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna move my CG back a little bit, and I go back down with my trim tab. So what I'm trying to say is I spend quite a bit of time on the bench. This is stuff you guys don't see, and you don't hear me thinking about it. And trying for speed. Like, I go through and I sharpen everything. Like I said, I polish everything. I make sure the bottom, it's like, I go through my boat with a fine tooth comb before this boat hits the water, and I'm trying for 80 plus with this thing, 6 or 8S. You know what I'm saying? Like, I spend time on my tune, thinking about it, like seriously contemplating and going over positives, negatives for every turn I make on my stinger or trim tabs. I mean, my turn fins, like, I like running my turn fins down in a speed run. They kind of drag in the water, and I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, it's gonna slow the boat down, but they're sharp. I like to use them kind of like a vertical stabilizer, and I set all this stuff up on the bench. Like, I'll actually set the boat on the end of my table, like, I set it on the end of my table, and I pretend the boat is, sit down into the water at her highest, like, top end speed, and I'll actually put my turn fins down. I'll look at my stinger, make sure my stinger's where I want it. I go over it. Like, I spend a lot of time on it. My best with this boat is 91. It's actually pretty quick, pretty fast for a single motor, So let's kind of go into my thoughts for prop, because I don't run. Well, I actually have run the same prop on 6S and run the same prop on 8S. But when you're trying for speed, like with 6S, I would want to run a little bit larger prop, trying to get, I think my best for 6S is I think it's 86 on 6S, if I'm not mistaken. And I run the larger prop with the lower RPM, so I get that top end that I'm looking for. Running the larger prop, if I do back-to-back runs, I do build up heat. So I can't run that same large prop on 8S and do like back-to-back runs. Yeah, I can maybe make one pass on 8S with that prop, pull it in. I need to check my temps and stuff. So what I'm actually doing is I'm going through my props, and I got a bunch of them to go through here, and I'm actually you know, I don't really like make notes. My videos are my notes. So I actually go back in my videos. I look at my old speed runs, and I'll say, well, that prop there did pretty good, and this prop here, it did all right. Maybe if I make mentally, I remember what I do to my boats, you know, and I make a tweak with that certain prop. Like if I run, just say I ran this 1916 on 6S, and she looked like she was running a little bit wet, so I would actually mentally remember that, and my next run out, I may, you know, go more neutral with my stinger, or more neutral with my trim tabs, or even, you know what I'm saying. I'll go from there with it. So I actually have several new props that I need to test on this boat that I have not tested yet. And so here's one of them. Here's another one that I want to try. Here's another one that I want to try. So my best with this boat was 91, like I said, with a 3-blade prop. And the boat was actually really hot when I brought it back. Like, it was like 180 degrees after 2 passes. So I know I can't run this 1917 on the boat, because I was running an 1817 when I got that PB, and on an 8S I might be able to run this prop maybe 1 pass, maybe, like that's it. So I'm going to run this 1917 on 6S, okay, couple passes, and on 8S, I'm going to try an even smaller prop that I got my PB on. Okay, I got it with an 1817. I'm going to try the 1717. See what it does on a small prop first. If it handles it and the temps are okay, then I might prop up to the larger diameter. I'm turning a high RPM with this boat on 8S, and the last time I had it out, I slung a freaking blade off of my PB prop. It come out the water, the prop spooled up to its full RPM, and it slung the blade. That's the bad thing about these high rake props. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is trying the same diameter, more pitch. Okay, so this is a 1921. Okay, so we're going to try this. I'm actually scared to run this 3-blade right here on 8S. This 23 rake, I'm scared, and I'm going to show you why. We're going to spool it up. When I spool it up on the bench, and this is the same prop I broke the blade off of, you can actually see the flex of the blade. The blade actually straightens itself out. You see how it's got that high rake? At high RPM, the blade will actually straighten the rake out on itself. This is an example. So this is probably, well, this is my fastest prop. This is an 1820, okay? So look at the rake on this prop. From turning this prop at high RPM in the water, the high RPM, it wants to straighten the rake out. It reduces the rake. So you guys see how straight the rake is on this prop? This prop used to have a rake like that. So here's one that's actually closer to this. So this is what it's supposed to look like. We're looking at this line right here. This is what it looks like now. So you got to figure when your prop's spinning, under load, the prop is actually pushing the boat. So the high RPM, under load, it actually, the water slowly reduced my rake. It reduced my rake by substantially. So this is why I need to learn how to harden my props. You know, I have a knife forge that I built. It's insulated. I can get these props up to temp with a I've got a homemade torch that goes in there, and it gets hot enough. I just need to know how long and what temperature to keep it at. I need to get a high temperature reader, you know. But yeah, look at that. You guys see you see how it's straightened itself out, and I can't find this prop anywhere. So that's why I'm actually scared to run this high rake prop right here on 8S, because I don't really want to ruin my prop. So when you're running higher RPM, higher voltages, smaller diameter props do best, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna spool this up on 8S, and I'm gonna try to zoom you guys in on the prop. And I really am doing it for myself because I noticed it, like this prop, the tips, they actually slung forward, and I hope I don't mess up a blade doing this, because we're turning the boat 60,000+ RPM. But I'm gonna try to slow-mo it so we can actually see it like flattening out our rake. All right, so I got you guys zoomed in. This thing's hot, so I don't want to touch it. So watch the tips. See where they are now. When I spool it up, they're gonna try to straighten themselves out. So the tips will actually be like up here. Okay, I'm gonna do it regular speed, and I'm gonna try to slow-mo it. And I'm only gonna do this once, because I don't recommend you guys spooling up your boat 60,000 RPM on the bench. The boat's not in the water. It's just not good. It's not, there's no load being put on it. So it's you could sling stuff apart. So here we go. Oh, did you guys see that? I don't want to blip it no longer. I don't want to disform my prop. Did you guys see that? Let's see if we can see it in slow motion. Yeah, you could see it. I could see it. Yeah, did you guys see that? So I just looked at it on slow motion, and you could definitely see the rake straighten itself out, you know. So that I really wish I could find this 2350 in a stainless steel version, because this beryllium is almost too soft for this 23-degree rake. But damn if they're not a fast prop, you know. So I'm definitely not going to do that again. I just wanted to show you guys that with this 1820, like I used to run that prop on this outrigger a lot. It's my fastest prop that I have that I own. And I need to get the Oxy digger back out. I actually share power systems, this boat and that boat. So I need to put this setup back in there, or get a new setup for it. This is a good prop we could probably run on 6S and see what it does. I've never really had any good experience or good luck getting maximum speed out of these 1050 series, but we will try it. This is a 5216. I think it will be good on this boat, so we'll try it. Maybe one pass, you know. So yeah, that was fun. That was actually fun. I know the video's long. I'm gonna let you guys go. Figured I would end the video on a pretty cool note there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Maybe my jacking of jaw maybe helps you guys, or helped you think about something for your boat, you know. It's an amazing hobby. It's an amazing hobby. I actually love sharing the hobby. I actually love the fact that I bring new people into the hobby. I've got a large base of followers. It seems like I spend half of my time running boats and the other half of my time helping people fix their boats, like messaging, man. It's getting crazy. So I love the hobby. I love the hobby. You get outdoors, you got something that you built, you're proud of, you modified, you're proud of, and you push the limit of any electric setup, you know. Yeah, we don't get long run times like gas guys, but trying to keep the magic smoke in a setup, maxing that setup out, whether it's with prop, battery, or modifications to your hull and hardware to get every ounce of speed, performance from that boat or any given setup. It's an amazing hobby, you know, and I get off on it, you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. It does help the algorithm get my videos out to a larger audience if you take that 1 second to like it. So we'll see you next time.